Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am to kick off these Steven Spielberg reviews for the month. And so, I'm starting off with one of Steven Spielberg's earliest films, Jaws. So, yeah, this is like a really great film. I mean, yeah, it is like one of my favorites. I mean, yeah, really have loved this movie. Yeah, like always. Yeah, I first saw this movie when I was like 10 years old, and that was like 15 years ago. So, yeah, really did like loved this movie ever since I first saw it. Yeah, it just is like a really great film. Yeah, this film is like some people kind of debate on what the genre for this movie is. Like some like kind of like see it as a horror film. I really don't like really see this as like a horror film. I kind of like see this more as like a more like a suspense thriller movie like while there are like some deaths in it, of course, like of course like the movie is about like a shark devouring like a mass murdering people. Well, like I really don't think it is like very much like a horror tone to it. Like it's not really like a cold blooded well, I guess I shouldn't really say that, but yeah, it's not like some like a psychotic killer or anything. It's just a shark really just doing like pretty much what sharks do. Ooh, so yeah, it's so I really wouldn't like really call it like a full on like horror film. I really don't think it really does have that tone. I mean, it is after all like just a it is a PG movie. It's not like an R rated. So yeah, I really wouldn't like really call this a horror film. But yeah, it does have like some chilling scenes in it, of course. So yeah, so yeah, but yeah, this is just like really great film. I mean, yeah, it has like a great cast to it, of course. Like it has a is a Roy Sheeter, is that how it's yeah, it has a Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw, yeah, and they all are like really good in the movie. Yeah, yeah. The story overall for the film, it is like a pretty simplistic story. I mean, like I said, all it is really just like a shark that's been eating, well, yeah, killing people, and yeah, just then like they just yeah, the three main characters just like set off to like just try to kill the shark. So yeah, it is like a really simple story for the film, but yeah, it's just like told like so well, and yeah, just is written like so perfectly, really. Yeah, yeah, this is just like yeah, a simple story that is just like written so freaking perfectly. And yeah, it just like does have like some great scenes to it. It has like a really great score from John Williams. Yeah, I mean, John Williams' score in this film is just like absolutely phenomenal. Like especially like in the barrel scene in the film where they first like try to where they first like attach a barrel to the shark. Yeah, and that scene like the music in that scene is just like so freaking phenomenal. I don't know, yeah, and no, yeah, like I said, it's a simple story, but it's just told so well that it really does make it like a really great film. Now, of course, like this film did end up spawning like three sequels to it, which I'm not going to review, since like Steven Spielberg really didn't have anything to do with any of the sequels. But yeah, this film like did spawn like three sequels, which just got progressively worse as they moved on, and really like, none of them really were necessary. I mean, it basically was just like the same thing over and over again. And yeah, they just got worse as they went on. Like Jaws 2, it was like not nearly as good as this one. 3, oh my gosh, that was just so bad. And the fourth, oh man, I mean, yeah, everybody has just said it about that film, just like how horrible it is, one of the worst ones of all time, a completely pointless sequel. Yeah, so yeah, the sequels really didn't do very well, but yeah, this film is just an absolute masterpiece and a classic, and I really do love it. Yeah, so yeah, no, yeah, I'm sure like a lot of you have really heard about really just the traumatic impact that this film really did have on people because after people really did see this film, like they really were like traumatized by it, and a lot of people after they saw this film were kind of like didn't really like go swimming at the beach anymore. or after they saw this film. I mean, yeah, the film like really did kind of give like a really realistic message about like the dangers of like what's in the ocean at the beach and like the dangers of swimming in it. So yeah, I guess it did like deliver like a realistic message like that, and yeah, it just really did leave like a big impact on people since like so many people like stopped going swimming at the beach after going to see this film. So yeah, this film really did scar a lot of people. So yeah, but yeah, it is just like a really great film, and I really do love the film a lot. I mean, yeah, like I said, it really is one of my favorite films ever. So yeah, I really would give this film a solid 4 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, I just have seen it like so many times, and yeah, I've just always loved the film, and it really is one of my favorites. So yeah, and yeah, I would place this in probably like Steven Spielberg's top 5 films of all time. I'm not really sure if I can really call it very best because Steven Spielberg has done like quite a lot of great films, but yeah, I still would place this like in his top 5. So yeah, definitely like one of his best works ever. All right, so yeah, I don't really want to like talk like a whole lot about it, so I guess I'll just like get right into the premise of the film. All right, so yeah, as the film opens up, it shows like the film was like open up in like a New England beach on Amity Island, and it shows like there's like a beach party going on, and like during dusk time, there's this girl that ends up like going swimming in the ocean, and like as she's actually like going like deeper into the water, and then like shows like the shark's point of view. Yeah, one of the really good like what this film does really great is that for like the first hour of the film, and even like past the hour point, you really don't actually see the shark arc in the film. Like you do know like what's happening, and you do know that like there are shark attacks going on, but they don't actually like see the shark. Like a lot of the like for pretty much like the first hour of this movie, while you don't actually see the shark, it does like show like it from the shark's point of view. But yeah, you don't like actually like see the shark until like the over the hour point in the film. Like it doesn't actually like totally reveal the shark, and you don't actually see it. So yeah, kind of like a good way to like kind of like give it more of like the suspense where you don't like it's there, but you don't actually see it, which kind of makes it like a little more chilling when there are actually the shark attacks. Like, so yeah, yeah, yeah. There are like some people that really do say like when you don't actually see the monster, it actually can be like scarier, like such as like in the omen and stuff. Like you don't actually like really see the monster, you just like know it's out there. And yeah, this is like one of those cases where like the shark is like out there somewhere, but you don't actually like see it for like the first hour of the film. So yeah, it really does a good job of like giving it that suspense feeling to it. Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, as the girl is just like swimming out in the ocean, eventually like it shows that he is like being Rachel like the shark is like around her, and eventually like she ends up like being like just pulled underneath Heath very violently, and then like you it just like shows the water, but yeah, you don't actually see the girl anywhere. And then the next morning, like if her her disappearance is reported, and the police chief, Martin Brody, who's played by Gloria Scheiter. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, Chief Brody, he like it was reported to him, and then and when he like arrived to the beach, then he saw like he found like her partial remains on the shore, or and then like it was like ruled that it was a shark attack that killed her, yeah, and then Chief Brody he then decided to like close the beach until that they could confirm that the beach was actually safe for people. But then the mayor just overruled it, and he just like felt that if their beaches were closed, the summer economy he for them would be ruined, seeing how they had Fourth of July weekend coming up, which it would be like a very popular uh, time for the beach and there. So he really didn't want like their yeah, he really didn't want there to be like a bad image going around. So yeah, the mayor like overruled the decision to close the beaches, and that there really wasn't enough proof to really confirm that the girl had been killed by a shark attack. And so then he just like had the theory that the girl was killed in a boating accident. So and yeah, Brody and like while he didn't like fully agree with the decision, like he was basically like had no other choice but to accept the ruling and just like have the beaches continue to be open. Yeah. And then on another day, on like the beach was like well populated, and it showed that there was a young kid that then like went off into the water on a raft. And it showed like Chief Brody was like also at the beach and just like keeping an eye on the water and stuff. And then like as like the kid was like on the raft in the water, then like showed like from the shark's point of view underwater again. And then he then like the shark then approached the kid on the raft and ended up attacking the kid. And while you didn't actually like see the shark full on, you could actually see like the shark's fins. And as the kid was being rolled over, and even like the other beachgoers saw what happened that the kid like ended up being attacked, and the kid was then like pulled under by the shark, and yeah, then everybody was ordered out of the water, and then the boy's mother then like saw that he wasn't there, and it just showed like his destroyed raft being washed back up onto the shore. Or so yeah, she like had known what had happened, and then and after that, then a bounty was then placed on the capture of the shark, which then like just prompted a huge uh hunting frenzy for the shark, and like during a session to announce the um bounty and stuff, then showed that local professional shark hunter Quinn then offered his services to capture the shark for $10,000. Oh yeah, and then eventually the Chief Brody then met with uh, an oceanographer, Matt Hooper, who's played by Richard Dreyfuss, and then he examined the remains of the first girl who was killed, and then yeah, he then confirmed to Chief Brody that she was actually attacked by an unusually large shark, yeah. And then meanwhile, then it showed that there were some local fishermen that ended up capturing a shark, that was assumed to be the shark that was responsible for the two deaths, but Hooper was very skeptical about it being the actual shark, and he just said that there was really only one way to confirm if it was the actual shark. So yeah, Hooper suggested to Chief Brody that they should actually cut the shark open and see what is in its system, since like the digestive system of the shark is very slow, and what it's eaten in the last 24 hours could still be in its system. Yeah. And then and eventually, like later on that night, then they ended up cutting the shark open to examine what was inside of it, and then it was then revealed that this wasn't the same shark that had killed the girl and the young boy. Well, yeah, and because there were no human remains found inside of that shark, and so then as Hooper and Brody then like were trying to search the night waters for the shark, and then they like saw that there was like a half sunken boat in the water, and then Hooper then like went underwater to take a closer look at it, and then underwater then he ended up finding a great white shark's tooth that was embedded in the hull. But then Hooper then ended up seeing a partial corpse inside of the boat, and he ended up dropping the tooth out in front of that. And then the next day, like uh, Brody and Hooper then were explaining to the mayor that it was a great white shark responsible for the death. That's of the girl and the boy. But the mayor still was like very insistent on keeping the beaches open. Like he just refused to allow the beaches to be closed. So yeah, he's just like was like very like yeah, he was just like in total re- yeah, he was just like completely refusing to really listen to what they were saying, and so yeah, he still didn't allow the beaches to be closed, but he did like tell Rooney and Hoover that they could do anything that they felt they had to assure the safety of the beach. And so then, and as the Fourth of July weekend then approached, then it showed that yeah, the beach was like completely packed with tourists. And at first, like nobody was going into the water, but then after like the mayor was insistent on people going into the water, then like people started to, and then at one point, then it appeared to show that the shark was then like in the water after like it showed like a shark's fin like swimming around some tourists, and so then yeah, the water then was like ordered to be evacuated by the people. Well, but then it then just revealed that it was just a cardboard shark's fin and from like a prank from two kids. But then it showed them like that the real shark was actually like swimming in the nearby estuary, which Chief Brody's son Michael was actually in. And so then, and yeah, Brody and all the beachgoers then were just rushing to this estuary. And then, like as the shark was approaching, then it tipped over like the boat of one guy, and then like Michael and his friends were like in another boat, and like they ended up falling overboard as well. Oh, and then yeah, as just Michael saw like the shark swimming around, like he went into shock, and then the other boater then like ended up like being devoured by the shark. Or like as the guy was trying to turn the boat back around, it then just showed like the shark below the surface. It's just like attacking the guy, and then it just showed like his leg just like completely bit off and fall down to the ocean floor. Oh, yeah. And yeah, Michael just saw like the shark just like swimming around him, and then he just like went into shock and lost consciousness. Just, yeah, and then and that eventually then Brody was able to convince the mayor to hire Quint to hunt down the shark and kill it. So then, yeah, Quint and along with Brody and Hooper then set out on Quint's boat, the Orca, to hunt the shark down. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, as they were like just preparing to everything they could to lure the shark up, as Brody was laying down like a chum line for the shark to follow. Oh, then eventually the shark then like actually went a boat. He like appeared behind the boat above the surface, and Brody then saw it, and then he just just told Quint, "You're gonna need a bigger boat." And then yeah, Quint, Hooper, and Brody then all saw the shark, and then yeah, they then estimated that the shark was 25 feet and 3 tons. And yeah, and then as the shark then was like starting to approach them, then and uh, Quint then like harpooned the shark, and then like tied the other end of the rope to a flotation barrel, and then yeah, the shark of course ended up like pulling the barrel along with him, and then and yeah, as like the three of them were trying to follow the barrel to wait for the shark to come back up. Eventually, like the barrel then just ended up like sinking underwater after like the shark ended up like pulling it down and just yeah just ended up like disappearing. And like I said, the score in that scene is just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then later on that night, it's just like as Brody, Hooper, and Quint were like just trying to settle down for the night. Like they were like just telling like stories about the sordid scars that they all have. And Quint was like talking about how he survived the USS Indianapolis. It then like showed them the barrel that the shark was attached to, then like coming back up above the surface, and then yeah, it like showed the shark was like back up, and then yeah, then the shark then just like ended up ramming the boat, and eventually like the power ended up being disabled, and then throughout the night like the three of them were then just working to like bring the power back up, and then the next morning, like as they were like trying to hunt down the shark some more, Brody like was trying to contact the Coast Guard, right? But like Quinn, of course, like being very obsessed with finding the shark himself and killing it, he just ended up like smashing the radio. Yeah, and then once the shark then like appeared again above the surface, then like a Quint was like harpooning some more, a few more barrels into the shark, and then yeah, as they tried to like lure the shark back to shore, or they then were like trying to tie the lines of the barrels to the stern cleats, but then now the shark then was like just dragging the boat backwards more, and like the deck ended up being swamped, and like the engine compartment ended up being flooded up, and then as a Quint was trying to then sever the line line to stop any other transom from being pulled out, the cleats then just ended up like breaking off. But yeah, it showed that the barrels were still attached to the shark. And then as Quinn was like trying to head back to shore to like get the shark into shallower waters, like he was like trying to yeah get the engine to really like accelerate as fast as it could, and then he actually like pushed it past the safety limits, and then it eventually like the engine just ended up like just like a yeah blasting and just went out. Yeah, yeah, and then the boat then like was just like starting to sink really slowly, and then yeah, then like Hooper then came up with a solution to try to actually lethally inject the shark with uh, strychnine. Is that what it's called? With a hypodermic spear. Here, so yeah, Hooper then like uh, put himself in like he put on scuba gear, and then like they put together a shark-proof cage that Hooper went in, and then yeah they lowered Hooper down into the water to try to inject the shark, and then yeah I showed that the shark was like swimming around Hooper, but then yeah as Hooper was preparing the spear, the shark ended up bumping the cage, and it caused Hooper to actually drop the spear, and then yeah the shark then just then like kept uh, uh, butting into the cage. And just ended up demolishing it some more and tried to get to Hooper, but Hooper was able to like fight the shark off long enough to escape from the cage and then just swim down to the seabed. And then once Quinn and Brody were actually able to pull the cage back up, they like saw what had happened to it, and Hooper wasn't in it. And then, yeah, and then the shark then just ended up like jumping up up onto the boat and causing it to like tilt, tilt, and then Quint then just ended up like sliding down right into the shark's mouth, and then yeah, the shark then just ended up like biting down on the Quint, and eventually ended up like devouring him and pulling him underwater. Yeah. And then the shark then tried to go after Brody, but then yeah, Brody then just threw a pressurized scuba tank into the shark's mouth, and then yeah, Brody then like brought like was able to get a hold of one of the rifles, and then like climbed up the crow's nest just to get as high as possible. Now with the sharks like continuing to swim after Brody with the tank still in its mouth, like Brody like was firing several shots to try to just uh, shoot the tank and cause it to explode. And then on the lethal shot, right before he fired, he just like said, "Smile, you son of a," and fired the shot. And then yeah, that hit the tank and then caused the tank to explode, and it ended up obliterating the shark and destroying it. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and then just showed like the remains of the shark in the water, like just in a ton of blood. Yeah, and then yeah, Hooper then ended up like surfacing and back up, and then yeah, he and Brody then like paddled paddled on the barrels back to Amity Island, and so then yeah, that's how it ended. So yeah, so like I said, I give it a solid 4 stars out of 4. I mean, it really is just a phenomenal film, and yeah, it really is one of my favorite films of all time. So I would recommend it, but I mean, chances are all of you have already seen it. Yeah, so yeah, you know how phenomenal of a movie this is. So yeah, just yeah, a classic, and yeah, like I said, I would place it in Steven Spielberg's top 5 best films of all time. So yeah, definitely just a classic. All right, so yeah, so I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So yeah, this is it for my review of Jaws. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and stay tuned for more Steven Spielberg reviews coming throughout the rest of the month. So yeah, but I hope you guys did enjoy this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.